Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin, and I'm going to read way too much into Legend of the Guardians, Owls of Ga'Hoole. Is that how you pronounce it? This is probably one of my favorite animated movies of all time, next to The Lion King. It's just, I was really surprised by this movie. Didn't see it on the big screen. We ended up renting this movie, and my wife and I, it just blew our minds. First off, you can definitely tell this is a Zack Snyder directed film. It's got the slow-mo effects, the amazing visualization, that kind of cool stuff that Zack Snyder brings to things, you know? A lot of people criticize him that he's not really good at bringing story, but he's really good at doing the He's not really good at doing the story, but he's really good at bringing the visualization. There it is. That's the word I'm trying to get out. Okay, so he's really good at bringing the visualization, and that is amazing in this. Of course, in this movie, I thought the story was brought pretty well, too. I mean, on the one hand, it's kind of a light, shallow story, but it still dives into some deeper themes, even though it's a little predictable or whatever. I just kind of like the richness of the story. I like the richness of the characters. I love how visually stunning this movie is. There's so much about it that I just thought was so good that surprised me. And of course, you know, I love watching it in 3D. It's probably one of the best 3D movies I own. All that said, reading way too much into this movie, like I said, the story goes in deep. And just so you know, if you haven't seen this, there's going to be spoilers here. So I'm just throwing that out there. It's a reading way too much into, and as with most of those, there are spoilers. You have been alerted. One of the things I love about it is it dives into, I think, like the heart of belief and believing and what that is, because you do it with these two brothers. And it was kind of interesting when I was watching it this time through, I thought about Cain and Abel, kind of thinking about why was one brother's sacrifice not really liked and the other brother's sacrifice really liked? You know, it's kind of an interesting thing to think about. And I feel like this movie kind of illustrated that, because it just showed two different hearts and two different motives. So you got Claude, and he doesn't trust his gizzard, he trusts his head. And that's kind of the clear thing of his character. He doesn't believe these stories of the Guardians of Ga'Hoole. He doesn't believe in the legends. He doesn't believe in the glory of the battles or Metalbeak or any of the crazy stuff. He doesn't really believe in. He thinks Soren, his brother, like I think it's his twin, his hatchling twin, I don't know. But he thinks his brother has got his head in the clouds, and he's like, oh, whatever. Whereas Soren believes these stories hook, line, and sinker. He believes, like, I mean, in his mind, he's got these pictures of, like, these victorious, strong, buff-looking Thor-like owls and amazing, great, conquering victory and all that stuff. But more importantly, he's got the theme of the stories in his gizzard, the honor, the virtue, the self-sacrifice, the selflessness. Like, he's really taken to heart the real heart of the stories, or I'm sorry, should I talk owl here? The real gizzard of the stories. He's taken it in, and so he really believes it, and he believes that his dreams and those things give him strength. And one of the first places we see that is the beginning of this movie, when they're branching and they're learning how to fly. You got Soren, who's so up in his head, he can't even relax. I mean, he's trying to fly from one branch to another. He's flailing about. He crashes into branches, and Soren just glides. Because he's relaxed. He's like visualizing Eliza Keel. Like, I think I'm saying the name 100% wrong. I will say every name in this wrong, because every name in this movie is beyond weird. But he's envisioning his hero. It would be like me pretending I'm Superman. And as he's visualizing that, he's letting his dreams give him strength, and he's just kind of resting in that. And so there he is, effortlessly gliding to the next branch. And this is just really making Soren mad and upset and jealous. So then when they go branching when they're not supposed to, they fall to the ground, they get kidnapped, and they get taken to the pure ones. This is where the rubber hits the road. This is where dreams meet reality, and this is where we're gonna see what's really inside. And you got Claude, who's jealous of his brother Soren. He's jealous that Soren flies so naturally. And I think he probably thinks the parents favor Soren, so Claude is all jealous over all of this. So when he gets caught by the pure ones, and the pure ones start saying, our type of owl is the best owl. We are the greatest of owls. We are the owls to end all owls, and all owls bow down to our owlness. Like, when this whole attitude starts coming out, it really just strokes Claude's ego, because this is what he's looking for. He's looking to be superior. He's looking to be better than his brother. He's looking to be better than everybody else. And so this environment began to feed that. Where you got Soren he's got no pride. Yeah, he's got confidence, and maybe he's got a little overconfidence, but that's probably because of immaturity rather than anything else. But he definitely is not a proud dude. He's not looking to lift himself up and exalt himself above all owls. And because of that, the enemy really didn't have anything on him. They didn't have any hold there. And so there was nothing for them to, like, reach inside his gizzard and pull them over to, their side. And so because of that, he escapes, he makes it to the Owls of Ga'Hoole and all that stuff, and he gets to see the reality of his dreams. And to me, when I was watching this movie, I kind of had this thought. I think Soren's road was way harder than Claude's road, because Claude had no dreams. He didn't have his head in the clouds. He didn't trust his gizzard. He only believed his head. He only believed the things that he could see and things like that. And so, when he's seeing the reality of life, the reality of things, it's not disillusioning to him. And he's just getting more and more excited to find other owls that want to, think they're the best owls on the entire world. Soren, he kind of had a little bit of stuff to deal with because he has all these dreams. He had these pictures in his mind of what his heroes look like, of what the Guardians look like. And the reality of it, nope, they were nothing like that. When he read the real accounts of the victorious wars and battles, he was reading accounts of, pardon my French, hell. He was not reading something that was glorious and magnificent. He was reading something that was horrible. And then he meets his hero, Eliza Keel, who is not this strong Thor with the hammer owl. No, he was scarred. He was beaten. He probably smelled bad. I don't know. I see the picture of him and I think, man, I bet that owl's got some BO. But, he's just not at all the picture that Soren had. So Soren is looking at the reality of his heroes, the reality of his dreams, and has to deal with disillusionment of them not being exactly what he thought. But Eliza Keel has something to say about that. He goes, no, it's not about glory and all that stuff. It's about doing what's right and doing it again and again and again. That's what it's about. And once again, we find Soren he's teachable, and he takes that into his gizzard, and he believes it with his gizzard. And that is just kind of the difference. He's a teachable owl. He lets that into his gizzard. He learns to follow and trust his gizzard. And so I just thought that was just an interesting picture. The one that has a clear picture of what's going on in the world, it's Soren. He's got the picture of what's right, and he's pursuing what's right. He's doing what's right in spite of disillusionment, in spite of pain, in spite of fear, in spite of the hard, gritty reality of what he held in his head as these dreams, in spite of the hard work behind it. He's pushing forward to do what is right. And so he has a clearer picture then of reality than even Claude, who's been so head-based this entire time. And to me, that was just one of the most fascinating things to read into it. So going back to that picture of Cain and Abel, why was one sacrifice, more honored than the other? I think it had to do with that heart, with that attitude. So to me, that was like one of the more interesting things about this movie, and that's the awesome picture that I saw in this movie. If you saw Legends of the Guardians, Owls of Ga'Hoole, what were your thoughts on this movie? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know in the comments. While you're there, make sure you hit that subscribe button, be on top of all the new videos and things like that coming out here on Durbania. And if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. I'm Durbin. Thank you so much for checking out Durbania.